My crown is kind of, I was like, that's gonna dent my head, but I love it. It's so
Oh,
pretty.
I have one. Look at this. Look at this. Just like sitting there to my head.
Oh, that's better. Oh yeah, on the hairline. There we go. There we go. Whew, I was wearing
Okay,
it
so
all along.
tonight we're talking about queen status. So when you're watching the replay, be sure to grab your crown. If you don't have one, I advise you to go get one on Amazon because you're going to want to after our lesson. Okay. So today we are learning how to step into your queen status. First and foremost, last time we were talking about like feminine energy, and Leah had asked me, what does some of that look like? And I know we were running out of time and everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of compiled a list of what feminine energy looks like. And actually, since it's just me and Leah, we're both going to teach this part because Leah has different things that she does that's in her feminine energy, and I have different things for mine. So one of the things that I teach a lot of my female clients, even my men. So men actually have to be more in feminine energy too, because that is your receiving side. That's your left. Okay. Your left is your receiving, your right is your giving. So this is your masculine side and your feminine side. So when we are looking to receive abundance, receive love, receive compassion, grace, whatever, anything in the light, it comes from your receiving side. So one of the things that I had to do was really get into a lot of my feminine energy. And I called on some of my angels and everything like that. Like, hey guys, look, I've been in too much masculine. There's been so much fear, so much control, so much dictation. I need help. So I tattooed a queen because the queen is the most powerful chess piece on the chessboard.
It is.
So I was like, I need to step into my queen power in order to literally run my life like a chessboard, because everything is a play on action, right? So after my divorce, I was like, you know what? I miss dressing up. I mean, when we would go on dates, we would never dress up. I'm like, I was begging for it, and it's like jeans and a t-shirt, and I'm like, no, I want to wear a dress. I want jewelry. I want makeup. I want pretty. So one of the commitments that I made to myself is every time that I go out with my girls, I make sure all of us dress up, because everything changes when girls get together and they're all in that feminine energy and they're dressed up so pretty, and it's like, we want to go show ourselves off to the world. It doesn't matter if we do nothing. We want to show ourselves off to the world. So dressing up was one of them. I have told a lot of my female clients, like, every day, put on a little bit of makeup. Now, my mom is so big into nobody needs makeup. She's trying to teach my girls, you don't need makeup. And I'm like, let them have makeup.
You don't need it. No, you
No,
don't.
they don't need it to look pretty. They don't need it to look
Dress
pretty.
yourself.
They're already beautiful. They're just flashing off their shine.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make them shine even more. So my girls, some mornings they'll be like, Mama, can I wear lipstick today? And I'm like, yes, you can. Here's Mama's lipstick. Now we got to be careful because school has guidelines.
I know, right?
So, right? It's like 5-year-olds don't need to be wearing lipstick. Yes, they can. So this morning, they came to me and they were like, can we have perfume? And I'm like, yes. Mommy started buying perfume because I was like, I want to smell pretty. Not that I don't, but I just, it's a luxury. I want it. So little bit. And I was like, oh, you girls smell amazing. And I did the same thing. I started doing my nails. That was another thing that I wanted. Like, it was like,
it's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. I have to. This is just, I love. Makes what it does to me. Maybe it doesn't affect everybody like that, but what it does to me, I love. And weightlifting,
it makes you just feel more girly.
It does.
Yeah, it makes you feel more girly. So mine are glue on, and I will go buy a new set. My mom so my mom takes care of a lot of my finances. She was like, why have you gone to Ulta like 10 times? And I'm like, nails. I just need more nails. So like I will change out my nails every 2 weeks. I enjoy the process of shaping them and putting the glue on them and making them fit and making them my, stiletto size that I like, whatever. I'm like, this is what I like about myself. My crown. So I won my show back in July of last year. And
Mhm.
this is something I've been putting on my head every now and then. If I get caught up in my brain and I'm not feeling worthy, I'm not feeling pretty, and it's like, what would a royal status do today? Well, she doesn't have anything else to do because she's got shit to take care of. So it's like, put your crown on, sis. And it's like, get to fucking work. So I
Yeah.
would put my crown on and I'm like, what am I doing? Oh, I'm sitting here in royalty. Fuck all y'all. you know? And I do my thing. There's people like I do Marco Polo with some of my friends, and they're like, why do you have a crown on your head? And I'm like, bitch, I'm in my energy today. I'm the queen. Bow down, Whatever is going to put you in that feminine place of being just more relaxed. It is not a place of uptightness. That is more of your masculine energy. It is not taking the lead. There are times where I literally have to sit back and say, I'm not texting so and so. They're going to text me first. And literally, when I would just like get to a place of like stillness and release,
Mm-hmm.
I get a text message
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
it's
where
like, oh,
I was in my feminine whenever Brian texted me for the first time in 15, well, we hadn't seen each other in 15 years, but like first connection, I was just getting done in the best meditation, just enjoying outdoors, the birds, the hummingbirds. And I'm like, oh, look at that.
yeah, like it's
It's
that
peace.
place. Yeah, it's that place of surrender. Now, that is a big, hard thing for a lot of us is to be in that place of surrender. So, I'm going to let Leah talk a couple of more pieces about what she does for feminine energy, and then we're going to look at what surrender looks like.
One of the things I do is massage, and that is a huge space of receiving because you can get a massage and it be the most horrible experience if you are not in receptive mode. And if you're not with a person right now, or you're in some sort of conflict with your person, it's just non-sexual touch. And just that touch is just so pampering, and just you just lay there, you do nothing, you don't even have to talk to them, nothing, you just receive for a full hour. And that to me is like one of the best places for me to go to step into my feminine energy. I get them maybe every week, every 2 weeks.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Pedicures are huge. Someone just kind of, like washing your feet, and like that's like a creature feature, honestly. Like to make one of the features that you don't necessarily think to show off, although I've been asked for pictures of my feet from people on Instagram, really weird. It's like not one of those pretty parts of your body, and it's like to make that pretty, and someone's just rubbing you and making it beautiful, and receiving somebody doing that for you is huge. And then if I need to step into my feminine, then I'll go out to eat on my own and allow someone to serve me and just bring me what I need. And if I don't like what it is, I'll say, this doesn't, no, and I'll send it back, and they'll take it back and get a better thing. And that is all to me feminine energy. Like, you know your worth, you know what you deserve, and you allow them to bring that to you,
Yes.
to meet you there. The nails are a big thing. And then sometimes I think dressing up, or like I'll shower and I'll shave and I'll put on like a sunless tanner, and I caress my entire body. Like I get familiar with every inch of my own body. And I think that we need to do that more. Pleasure myself, even pleasuring yourself is a very, very much in the feminine, and I think that is a beautiful thing. And being in that, understanding your body in that way and what you like, and so that when you are then in an intimate setting with another person, you can relax, you can be, your body so well, you can guide, you can receive, you can allow, you can do all these things. And so pleasuring myself too. I mean, I know it's not something that a lot of us talk about, but it very much puts me in my feminine energy. So
Yes. No, 100%, 100%. Because you do need to know your body. That brings you to a point of connection
yeah.
with your soul, where your soul meets your body. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what we need to do. And
Yeah.
I love that you say that. Um, and I also love that you're saying that one of the things whenever Brian texted you that you were outside and after your meditation, because one of the things that is big that I wrote on here when it comes to surrendering is grounding.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be outside, we need to be in touch with Mother Nature, we need to be playing in the, dirt at times. Like, go back to being a kid. Kids would run around without socks and shoes on, and they're just like 90 to nothing, sleeping good at night, their bodies are healthier because they're getting in tune with Mother Nature. Mother Nature is your feminine energy. We have Father Sky, Mother Nature, and I mean, literally, there's that polarity that's going on there. So hug a tree. There have been times I've literally been out with my friends and we'll be like somewhere near the mall or something, and they'll have like those little, I don't know, random trees that they got standing up or
Right. The
whatever.
parking lot.
Yeah, and they're like, go fucking hug a tree now. And I'm like, okay, fine. Because my anxiety would just be so high or whatever. And it's like, I need to be more grounded. I need to be in my feminine energy. And I would literally I'm legs and arms. I'm like wrapped around the tree. I have pictures of this because they'd be like, we're taking pictures. Here she is hugging a tree. But I mean, I would get down from the tree and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so nice. Thank you so much for loving me. Thank you for hugging me back. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Thank you because you think about it, Father Sky, we have the sun. The sun provides us energy by day. Well, it ignites the earth too, like it electrically charges it.
Mhm.
And we are receiving from that as well. So grounding yourself. One of the biggest things is letting go. And honestly, that's something you have to sit with because that is different for everybody. It is not a means of stopping your mind from having thoughts because your mind is going to lead you in the direction that it needs to go because it's a soul led thing.
Mhm.
But when you sit still and you listen and you're in tune with yourself and what your soul says, start asking questions. Like, that's another big thing, is asking questions to your soul. Like, what do I like more, blue or red? I mean, stupid shit. Ask yourself stupid shit and then see what the answer is. Because the more that you can get familiar with what your soul is, the more in tune
Mhm.
you are with your intuition, and then the more soul led that you will be to be able to release and let go and trust, oh, I'm going to be led in the right direction because whatever's going to show up is going to show up for me and for my soul at all costs. But what I want to let you know is more of, so like chakra clearings and things like that. When we quiet our mind, like if we were to go do Reiki, because somebody mentioned to me one day, well, you could just heal your body and you could go get Reiki. And it's like, yeah, you could.
Mhm.
You go sit there, you go do that, but there's no work that you're doing. So you have to keep going back over and over and over to get another clearing, another clearing, another clearing. And you're not showing the person, if you're the healer, you're not showing the person how to stop having to come back. How do we break these layers of trauma down? And like an onion, how do we get down to the root where we don't have to keep playing these cycles over? Now, when I work with my clients, like it's not a healing one and done thing. It shows up in many other forms later. It circles back around and they'll be like, but I thought I released this. And it's like, you did, but this is the next layer.
And that
We
we
have to
talked
pull
about,
back.
yeah, we talked about that's like you're not going to just and like everything is fine and the light of God is shining on you and you're like, I'm healed. It's then we get to dig deeper and do that. And so like you're gonna simultaneously be healing and receiving the guidance and intuition and learning to trust yourself. Like that process, doing that over and over is where you get that trust for yourself.
Yeah,
Not in
it
other
is.
people, trusting that this person's going to
And
do this
yeah,
and that person. Trust issues really are about us and trusting ourselves. That resonate, huh?
yeah, Yeah, that's all within. I mean, everything. No, everything that we do is from within. If we're attracting like narcissistic relationships, it's because there's a lack of love within us, a lack of worthiness of love within us. I mean, if I go back through and I look at, I was in 4 narcissistic relationships and abusive relationships, and it was just like, how do I keep attracting this shit? Well, because I didn't feel that I was worthy of true love. Every guy that came at me that loved and adored me and worshiped the ground, treated me like a queen, I was like, I don't need you because you don't treat me right, because I didn't treat myself right. I was looking at my own self through a damaged mirror.
Absolutely.
So when we're looking through that cracked mirror, we can't see things clearly. Well, you don't see those things within yourself until you start healing. Now, granted, again, it's not a one and done thing. It's come back around, but it's not as intense. You don't have to do as much work.
Well,
It's only small, minor changes. Yeah.
You get past it quicker and you
And
know what to do. And so like, if you have this ability, because you've practiced getting into meditative state all the time, you can get there and you can release that trauma so much faster, to where it's just a recalibration that you've been able to do. And then you just keep recalibrate. And it's never this, it's just like part of life. It's just like what you do. And when you go through traumas like that, like you and I both have in narcissistically abusive relationships, where I just know so many people, even watching this right now, have been and maybe are still in, when you can heal, you can start healing even with that person present, when you start looking inward and start realizing that this is really all about how you feel about yourself. And they say that you need 3 months per year that you were with that person to allow for healing. But I also want to point out that you don't have to wait until that person's gone or out of your life to start the healing process.
Yep. And I'll attest for that. I started honestly healing from my divorce probably early last year, because I had done my healing before then. I had been molested at an early age. That was the start of it. Whoa.
Oh.
I'm back. My car was like, yeah, we're done, sis. Like, you've had it on. So I had worked on healing from, being molested and everything, and it just kind of grew. Well, when I started healing even more, I was noticing different changes within my husband, and it wasn't that he was changing. He had been the same person the whole time. It was me who was seeing things through a different set of lenses, and it's like, that's not how you treat somebody that's in love. That's not how you show up in love and grace. And what is this, and why do I get treated this way? Because I started learning how to treat myself better. I started dating myself when I was married to him. Like, all at the end, like all last year, it was just progressive. And it was like, yeah, I'm not going to stand for this anymore. I treat myself better and with more respect. And you could just see like the loss of control from him. And I'm not saying it in an ugly way, but that's his perception. Everybody has their own perception. But I saw myself growing. And when it got down to that time frame, it was just like, well, I can't deal with these vibrations anymore, because these vibrations don't serve me.
Natural deselection. If you're watching this and the big question is, should I stay or should I leave? And I've always been told, you don't leave something, you go towards something. And if there's something that you can go towards, like yourself, then that's what you need to do. Go towards yourself, not leave, because you take yourself with you. And so you can start that process, and it's just going to naturally happen when you start focusing on yourself. So the question isn't, should I leave or should I stay? That's going to just be a byproduct of when you start healing and taking care of you in that way, like you were saying. That's going to take care of itself. You don't even have to do a thing. So
yeah, that's so right.
So clear. The answer will be so evident.
And it was. I mean, yeah, I had left so many times. Like, I would leave for a week and I'd go stay at my parents', pack my kids up, and it was just like, no, I need to go home. I wasn't in that healed state.
Right.
I still didn't know who I was without him. I had been so conformed. And I mean, so with my clients, I do astrology. We look at compatibility, everything. If you're if there's certain aspects to the way that your Pluto or their Pluto is, you can define abuse and everything. I mean, this man's Pluto ruled every personal planet in my chart. Had I known this 7 years ago, I would have never done this. But, like, I will only do astrology charts from here on out. So if there's ever somebody you want to hook me up with, you got to get me astrology first. Then if they're Scorpio, the answer is no.
You know what's so crazy is my ex said he went to go visit a friend who was into all of that when we were dating. And he even told him, you guys are not a match. You're like the worst match. And he's like, I don't care. This was before I even knew about narcissism and like that whole thing. And he was told that we were not a match. We were together 10 years.
If somebody would have told me that, I would actually, I got my kids out of that. So that's fine. I'll take my kids.
Absolutely. You can't say I would have done this differently because you have this beautiful experiences and this rich process that you've learned. Such a deep appreciation for yourself, for the love you have for you. And just, he was my greatest teacher, greatest teacher. And I could just absolutely thank him to this day for that, because I kept doing the same thing over and over, and it got so bad that it made me learn what I learned. And now I couldn't be a happier person. And when you fall in love with yourself and then that person shows up, they just enhance what you already have. But if something, say plans fell through and you weren't able to see each other, you don't feel that void and that loss. It's like, okay, no big deal. You can love someone passionately and not miss them. Missing someone is not loving them. And so I feel like you could want to be with someone, but if they don't show up, you don't feel any different. You don't feel any less whole in yourself than you did when they were there.
And you're right. It is all about putting you first. So I made a commitment. I'm a Leo, and Leos, we shine, we wear crowns, all this great glory.
Saying.
The Aquarius is the I don't give a fuck attitude. So you're already high and mighty. Leos are like, am I worthy enough? Yes, bitch, I'm worthy enough. So with just even being a Leo, like, my shine had been dulled for years because I couldn't stand out as that person. I had to put somebody else first, not myself, and nobody else was going to put me first. So at some point I was like, okay, well, I'm giving myself leftovers. But when I started putting myself first, it was like, this feels good. I like the attention. Like, I like that people are giving me other attention. I would get criticized for that. Why do you need somebody else's attention? Because you don't give it to me, homie. I give it to me. And when I give it to me, it expands outside the universe. So really focus in on some questions that, I mean, for one, you want to ask yourself, what puts you in your feminine energy? Is it wearing a crown? Is it getting, your eyelashes done or your lips done? Or is it your nails? Whatever. I mean, there's so many things out there that we have cosmetically that are helping women feel beautiful.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that, I feel like there's a stigma with that. And it's like, I will do whatever it is that I want. And what's really interesting, and you'll know when you do it for the right reasons, when you can be with your partner and feel even more beautiful with none of that.
Yeah.
None of that is going on. And you feel so confident and so beautiful, and you are just radiating. And I have never, ever felt like that with any partner. And I was just telling Brian this. I said, what's so amazing? What made me think about you just today is how I can have messy hair all weekend, not put a drop of makeup on, and it doesn't even cross my mind because I'm so in the feminine, because he is in the masculine, and we've got that polarity. And I finally get that in the relationship, but I had to be in that feminine and tap into that. He's like, you are so tapped into your feminine. He's like, it is fantastic. It just helps me be in my masculine, and it's just like this beautiful dance, and it's just effortless. And that to me is like, you have found this a very special, you've healed in such a way where that is being done for the right reasons, not for attention, for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's an inside job. It's an inside job.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. And it is when you're in that place of like loving who you are and respecting yourself, honoring yourself, even. I mean, that's been a huge thing for me, is being in a place of honor. You know,
now explain what you mean by that. Like, how do you honor yourself? Give an example.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Because
can
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you. I don't know what's going on. My phone's about to die, but it's like not charging either.
Oh,
Ah!
I can hear you just
I don't
fine.
know why it's not working here. Okay.
Put it in the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear you. It's like at 2%. Hang on. If I can just get it to like plug in and charge. Ugh. This crown on my head is killing my glory. I just whacked myself in the face.
Turn off your video. Turn off your video.
Ta-da. Okay, we got it at 2%.
Oh my gosh, girl, you're gonna die on
I
us.
still can't hear you though. Why can't I hear you?
Look at the chat.
Are you laughing?
Chat.
Okay. Speak.
I can hear you.
Turn off my video.
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's because it's trying to connect to my car.
Oh, okay. I can hear you. I can hear you.
No, I don't know why it's not working.
That's okay.
Why does it do this? Hang on, I'm gonna jump off and jump back in because I think that's gonna be it.
Jump off and jump back in. See what she's doing. You need strong signal when you're doing streaming like this, video streaming.
Oh, okay. It works out. And we're at 1%. It's not charging. But anyway.
Okay.
So real quick. Yes, real quick. The final thing is really focusing on what it is that's going to put you in your feminine energy. And then really asking yourself, what is a place where I can release and let go? Because if you don't feel safe in your own environment and your own setting to be able to come to a place of safety, security with the universe and with yourself, you've got to first find that wherever that is and have that. There was a time where like my garage was my security and my safe place because that was where I worked. I knew I couldn't be bothered in there. You know, I knew that for me, it was just a safe place for me to just feel relaxed, because the rest of the time I was just uptight, everything. I was so worried about what was going to be said, done, whatever, inside the home, that I needed that small piece outside the home. So find a place where you feel safe. You don't feel on edge. You don't feel scared, but you can sit with yourself in a place of relaxation. You feel security within you in that moment, because that is going to be your key ticket to finding safety and security everywhere else, regardless of the situation you're in.
Yeah.
And that's how you're tapping into your feminine energy.
Yeah, mine was nature. Mine was leaving the house because we had to share a home while we were divorcing. And I went on like 3 or 4 walks a day, and I would just go out in nature and just get away. The house was just not big enough, and it was 10,000 square feet. So I'm like, I gotta just literally walk away from this place. Yeah. So it's
Wow.
wherever you do feel that. And nature is one of the best places to do that. Is really, really beautiful time.
Yep. Hug a tree. Hug a
Yeah,
tree.
hug a tree and honor yourself. I thought what you said was really great. Ways that you can honor yourself. What are some ways that you honor yourself?
One of the things that I started doing is upholding, well, number one is upholding boundaries, like really figure out what your boundaries are and uphold them, but make promises to yourself and keep them. Like if
Mm,
you promise yourself that you're going to do something, follow through with it. You wouldn't let somebody else down. Why are you letting yourself down?
I love that.
So I started like really, I would make a promise to myself. Today, I promised to take, even if it was to take my kids to the park just for my enjoyment
Mm,
of going to the park and being with nature, I'd honor it.
mm-hmm.
I started honoring the things, the promises that I made to my kids. Mommy, can I have an applesauce this morning? And it was like, well, we don't have time for that. And it's like, you know what? You can have an applesauce because if I'm not going to honor you, who else is going to honor me?
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have to honor myself, if I can't honor somebody else, nobody else is going to honor me, but I also have to honor me. And that means upholding my promises that I make to myself and to somebody, but also making sure there's also accountability, making, like my kids, I want my kids to grow up and honor themselves. No, boo, we
Mm-hmm.
honor promises.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love
that's another big thing. Yeah.
that. That is awesome. This is such a good piece. I love it. I'm just gonna be able to pull so much from this. It's so, so great. I love it. And I loved our crowns. Everybody needs
Yes.
to get a crown. Everyone needs to get a crown. Make a crown. I don't care. Find a crown. Cut one out of construction paper, whatever you got.
Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon has really beautiful crowns.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Macy. I appreciate you every time we get to share, and everybody's going to really enjoy this. I know it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I'm glad we got to have our conversation.
I am too. We got to visit a little bit, which was wonderful.
Yes. All righty, ma'am. I will talk to you later.
Okay.